I'm Ramon Ray with Smart Hustle and the Small Business Festival. Matt Miller, you work at ID Freedom?
IT Freedom.
IT Freedom. What does IT Freedom do? What's it all about?
So we provide IT solutions for small businesses. Basically, we take whatever sort of IT and technology problems and stresses they have, try to talk them out, figure out what the solution is, get them solved.
Are y'all like geeks, is it fair to say? Like geeks and techie
Fair to say, the vast majority of our staff are geeks.
Okay, cool. And what's the role at IT Freedom?
So my role is business development. I've had a bunch of different roles at IT Freedom. I started on our help desk. I moved up to being an engineer, engineering manager, and now I run our business development department. So I can pretty much talk about anything you want to.
Business development, I think, is an important part for small businesses, for entrepreneurs. And as I understand it, that's really the aspect of where it's your business and you want to work with another business, usually. And how can you find a win-win for them? Is that how you see it? Any advice you can give us in the role of business development, how that works?
That's definitely how I see it. We definitely look for wins with our mutual wins with our customers. We try to take expertise that we have that's either too technical or it's just our customers maybe are not large enough to need their own IT department. It's not their core area of expertise. They can bring us in to just, again, talk those problems out, get them solved without them having to maintain a staff of their own, do hiring and management and all that stuff that's easily outsourced.
If you had to think about the most important part of your job, what would you say? Like when you go to bed at night and you lay back and the song's over, the best part of waking up before that song comes, what's the best part of your job that you like?
It's definitely talking to our prospective customers and our existing customers, just trying to figure out what challenges they're having and again, how we can get them solved. I really like that part of the job.
Let's go into technology a bit. There's so many different types of technology that an entrepreneur can have. Sometimes it can be massively overwhelming. If you had to give a one-on-one, talking to the people out there, here's some tips, some advice on technology for your business. What are the things that you talk about, Matt? What are the things that IT Freedom overall helps their clients with? Some basics, core. So Ramon, here's 3 things or 2 things I want everybody to know regarding technology in business. What would that be?
Well, I think it's really easy to get started in business these days. So to get a basic set of technology up and running for your business, if you're just say you're a freelancer, you're 1 or 2 people, that's pretty straightforward these days. So the first piece of advice I would say is just think about where you want your business to go. Where are you going to be in a few years? What does that technology? What do those technology needs look like down the road? Are you going to have 100 employees if you hit all your goals? Okay, if that's your goal, maybe you should talk to somebody who really knows IT backwards and forwards and make sure you're laying the right foundation for that. So that would be one thing. The other thing I would say is that if you are in a business that's going to scale up, that's going to have more employees, have more infrastructure eventually, just kind of be prepared to make that leap. It's easy to get off the ground. You have 1, 2, 3 people. You go into Best Buy, you're buying laptops, or going to Dell or whoever you're going to. Again, pretty easy to get off the ground, but at some point you're going to have to kind of get real about your IT. You're going to need standard processes, so how your employees get help, how the network and the Wi-Fi stays reliable on a day-to-day basis. At some point you'll have to make that leap, kind of spend a little bit of money, spend a little bit of effort, but it pays off tenfold.
Do you find that many businesses spend too little, that they're short-circuiting, I think is the English word? They're short-cutting themselves by not spending enough at the top? Do you find that happens? Because I know that they go into they get a home business, a home PC, or a consumer version, and they realize why doesn't it work, or it can't expand, or it doesn't have the right specifications I need. Does that happen?
That happens all the time, absolutely, yeah. And again, it's something that's easy to do when you're just getting off the ground. If it's just you, if your entire business is you and maybe 1 or 2 other people, maybe that'll cut it for a while. But again, there's going to be that inflection point where you're going to have to make that leap to kind of taking things a little bit more seriously, investing in your technology a little bit more.
Right. You guys have worked with a lot of businesses, I assume. We do. Okay, good. I'm sure there's so many you can talk about, but any 1 or 2 or 3 that come to mind, Ramon? Here's an example of a business we work with, and I guess you're in the job of problem solving. People have pain. People need help. Right. Anything that you can think of, any business you can think of that, Ramon, we help them and here's the result. Anything comes to mind?
Yeah, a company here in Austin named Modernize. They're actually really close here in downtown Austin to where the festival's happening these few days. We help them quite a bit. So they started off with just a few people.
And what do they do? What's Modernize do?
So they're a lead generation company, but basically a marketing company, but they work with the home improvement industry to kind of connect people who need home improvement projects done with the right contractor. That's really their business. And we help them. So since we started working with them in 2015, they've more than doubled in size. They went from 50 to over 100 people. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about when I'm saying you're eventually going to have to take your IT seriously. So the types of, okay, we're going to just get off the shelf Wi-Fi gear. We're going to have people kind of self-servicing their IT, trying to figure out problems as they go. That doesn't work when you have 50 or 100.
And why not? What happens? Why not?
People, you lose so much efficiency. In the best case scenario, people aren't collaborating effectively. You're reinventing the wheel every time some problem crops up. That's the best case scenario, is your employees aren't collaborating effectively. The worst case is that there are real problems. The Wi-Fi is unreliable. You have people who are trying to do their jobs who are simply offline. Just you're paying people to sit there and suffer through technology issues. That doesn't make any sense for anybody.
Got it. So you help them grow from 50 to 100, or from 20 to 100. You help them expand. And what are some particular things you did to help them grow? Give us some specific examples so those watching can learn, hey, if I want to grow, here's some ideas I can steal from that.
Yeah, so first thing we did, or one of the very first things we did when we started working with Modernize, was to get their Wi-Fi sorted out. Again, 50 people in an office building. Wi-Fi at this point, this day and age, it just has to work. Yeah. People just expect it to work.
And you mentioned Wi-Fi a few times. You're saying I can't just go to my local Radio Shack and buy the access point, slap it up on the wall with some gum, and it'll work? That's not good enough?
We've had lots of people try to do that. It doesn't work very well usually. Yeah, those types of technology are designed to work for 5, maybe 10 devices being attached to them. Once you start getting above that, once you start having a bigger office footprint where you need more than one radio, you need an expert to get that done.
So Wi-Fi you help with? What else?
So a whole slew of other things. The other big thing I would say, just a couple of things we helped them with, was onboarding new employees. So there's a huge IT component to onboarding new employees, getting their computer set up, logins done. There's a laundry list of things that need to get done, and it's pretty important too, because it's really important in terms of, you spend all this time and money recruiting people, especially here in Austin, like the tech world, recruiting engineers. That's hard to do, and that's expensive to do.
And you have to do it right. If you do it wrong, it can be a problem.
Exactly. So those people showing up the first day and not being ready to go, it's embarrassing. It's not a good situation to be in. Getting that process nailed down is a huge deal, and it's something that we help our clients with all the time.
Awesome. Listen, this has been great. And again, Matt Miller with IT Freedom. We're at the Small Business Festival. Have you been having a festive time, Matt?
I have.
Great, I have too. And I'm Ramon with Smart Hustle. Again, we're at the Small Business Festival in Austin, Texas.